I am very excited about today's episode, as we are going to create a beautiful fine art image of a simple flower, and we are going to go through some techniques like focus stacking and selective lighting effect. It's going to be fun and you will like it, so let's get started. We have a series of 4 images of a flower I shot at different focal length using macro lens. In order to make all the details sharp, we have to focus stack them. It's a very easy technique and all the macro photographers use it all the time. Let's choose this flower and start processing. In the Basic tab, toggle between different profiles and choose one to your taste. I like Adobe Vivid as it gives more contrast. Then in lens correction we have to enable profile correction and remove chromatic aberration. In the Basic tab, decrease the highlights and increase slightly the shadows. Add some whites and decrease the blacks. Add a bit of clarity and texture and decrease the vibrance. In Detail tab, I usually sharpen not more than 70. Then remove the sharpening from the shadow areas by holding Alt and dragging the mask and slider to the right. The white areas are sharpened and the black are not. Move the luminance slider till 20, not more, to reduce the noise. That's all the processing that we need. Select the other photos by holding Ctrl and clicking on them, then hit Sync and make sure Check All is clicked. Then hit Synchronize. Now all the images are processed in the same way. Right-click and choose Open as Layers in Photoshop. So here in Photoshop we have our 4 images stacked on top of each other as layers. First of all, we have to align them. Select all the layers, then go to Edit and choose Auto Align. Then go to Edit once again and choose Auto Blend. Choose Stack Images. Now, after we got our focus stacked image, as you can see, all the details are extremely sharp. So create a stamp layer by hitting Ctrl-Shift-Alt-E, and we have to clean all those imperfections and black dots in the image. I will use the clone stamp tool, and I will fast forward this video until I finish the cleaning. Okay, so the cleaning is done. Right now I'm going to crop the image, so go to the crop tool and choose 2:3 or whatever you like to choose. Then hit OK. And then convert this image to a smart object. Then go to Filter and choose Camera Raw Filter. In Camera Raw, decrease the exposure all the way down until nothing is seen in the background. Then apply a circular gradient covering all the flower. Increase the exposure all the way up. Then right-click on the handle in the middle of the flower and duplicate the gradient. Those red-colored areas are the blown-out highlights. To activate or deactivate them, just click on the right upper triangle on the histogram. I find it very useful while eyeballing the clipped areas. Decrease the size of the second gradient and go down with exposure until the clipping disappears. Move the highlight slider to your taste. Add some whites and decrease the blacks. Add clarity and texture and increase the contrast. Then go to Effects tab and add Vignette. Let's add some more contrast and make the middle of the flower warmer. So this is the beauty of the smart objects. You can anytime return to the filter and adjust it. Just double click on the Camera Raw filter. Then go to Curves tab and increase some lights, decrease the highlights, play with the darks and shadows. Click on the circular gradient, then on the handle in the middle of the flower, and increase the warmth to your taste. We have to get rid of the clipping by adjusting the exposure and the highlights, then hit OK. I think we have a very good result. We can increase the vibrance and the saturation to boost the colors. So create a new vibrant saturation adjustment layer and play with the sliders to the left and to the right. And also let's try to add hue saturation adjustment layer and target the yellows. play with the hue, saturation, and lightness sliders to your taste. Finally, I want to sharpen the image to make the details pop in the middle of the flower. In Filter menu, open Sharpen and then Smart Sharpen. Choose the appropriate amount. Then hit OK. Finally hit save and we're done. That's all for today, and I hope that you liked it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.